Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I want to show y'all how to make a feather fringe. Now normally I would be using a thread that matches, but I wanted you guys to very clearly be able to see what and where I was doing, so this is what we're working with. You can use, I guess, any feathers, but in this tutorial I am going to focus on using peacock feathers. I get them in bags of 100 from eBay. It's the best price I could find. I mean, honestly, if I could, I'd raise peacocks just for their butt feathers, but Randy won't let me, and it's against city ordinance because I'm sure I could work on Randy. Maybe. I don't know. Peacocks are kind of vicious, but beautiful. I mean, look at those. So nice. So what we're going to do is, you can also get peacock feathers at like Joann's or Michael's, but they're significantly more expensive. Like I think I paid like $4 for 100 feathers. Or something. Don't quote me on that. I could just be making up numbers. But there were 100 here whenever I started. We have our sewing machine. I have a heavy duty Singer. Use what you have. I recommend keep a nice sharp needle. Keep your machine's capabilities in mind. What did I do? There they are. My favorite way to go in and prep the feathers is with actually flush cutter wire snips, because what we're going to do is whenever you look at the stem of the feather, I'm not entirely sure what this part is called, but you would just take it and snip just on that part. That way when you remove it, there's not all these little pieces going everywhere, and you can actually use this later on in your work as well. We'll go over that possibly in the next video in this series, because I'm making a very beautiful, hopefully beautiful, peacock feather belly dance outfit. So that's going to be really fun. But what we're going to do is we're just going to come through, and I'm going to give myself about an inch or 2 fingered widths below the eye. So right where those feathers stop being quite so concentrated. And let's see, this is the first strip that I had done for one side. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 eyes, or feathers. And I started off trying to hand sew these onto projects, and this part of the feather is actually quite, like, it's not square, it's like rectangular to the extreme, so the feather has a tendency to want to lay one way or the other as opposed to laying flat. So I was like, dadnummit. And so that's where I started experimenting around a little bit, and sometimes stuff like this happens, which I just set it aside, but still, for the price, most of the feathers are perfect. So again, just coming down right, and you can give yourself a little extra because we will be trimming off the excess here, but I'm trying to be mindful, and I don't want to waste a single little bit of the feathers if I can help it. I'm pretty pleased with these as well. They're pretty clean. That was the first feather I've come across that wasn't like perfect. So I'm just trimming, and save these too, because it's what I'm going to do is actually go through and I split it, and then this itself makes a really nice fringe and design element that we can kind of incorporate into some other things, some other projects. So I'm actually going to angle the camera down a little bit more so you guys can get a better idea of what it is that I'm doing. Please pardon my chronically disastrous craft room. Any of y'all fellow crafters out there know the struggle is real. Oh my god, so real. So real. So here we go. Getting a couple more. I think this will be my last one. These ones are a little smaller, so I'm actually going to do it a few extra. I mean, gosh, that's my favorite color in the whole world. That tealy, purpley green right there. It's just, actually, that whole combination is my favorite color in the world. Like how some people be like, oh, my favorite color is rainbow. Well, my favorite color is peacock. Okay, this will be my last one. And you can also get much longer feathers. Like whenever you go online to purchase them, they'll give you some different options about how long of a stem you can purchase. I got just the 12-inch. So I was like, there's nothing that I can think of that I would really need that much longer for. And then I'm also using, this is a very stiff, just nylon ribbon. It's actually acetate. So, I mean, it's like kind of crunchy feeling on the edges. I like a stiff ribbon for this because you're basically making a bias tape. You could use bias tape. That's a thing you could do. I have it on, my needle is farthest to the right. I have it at about 1.5 for my stitch length, and I have it on just a regular single stitch, but I actually think I'm going to come through. I have another, so I have stitch 1 is in blue, and it's doing a regular single stitch, but 3 rows wide of it, because I really, really, really want these feathers like stuck in there. And so I'm going to be lining the feathers up onto the ribbon to where the feather is going to be sitting. And see, you can notice this is how I want it to sit. This is how it has a tendency to sit. It's so frustrating. Just stay the way I want you to, silly feather. The bottom of the eye is right in line with the top edge of the ribbon, is how I'm positioning it. This is my project, so this is how I'm doing it. You do your project however you want, but I did just want to be really clear with you guys on all these little details. Note to self: sewing is easier when your needle's threaded. Who would have thought? What a day. Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, and I'm not going to go too much into how to thread your machine, because, quite frankly, I am not a seamstress. Like, this is not my strong suit. This is just something that I do because hand sewing can be seriously tedious. Uh-oh, come back, feather. So I'm going to get a couple of stitches just going. I don't need it on my special stitch. Just going on the ribbon to get it started. So here you can see I got a few stitches going just to get it started. I'm actually going to set my pile of feathers to pull from right there. And I have the ribbon still attached to the spool. And so I'm just going to line this up right there to where the bottom edge of the green is just like that. And again, whenever you press on it, they have such a tendency to want to kind of stand up like that. So I'm putting my hand on it to try to keep it flat. And it really doesn't want to go over it. So I'm going to lift my foot and put it in there. There we go. There's our first feather. Layering this one over just a little bit more. There we go. And go at your own pace. Go however slow or fast as you want. I recommend a nice slow pace because, boy, that seam ripper stinks. Getting that next feather on there. And I'm trying to keep the feathers pretty evenly distributed. Like, I want a nice even spreading. I don't want the stem, I don't want this all bunched up like that. I want it laying as nice and flat as we can. There's that one. Here's the next one. Picking up our next feather, making sure we only have one. We don't want to sew on more than we have to. And I don't have the feathers perfectly perpendicular to the ribbon. I actually have them at a little bit of an angle. But that's my own preference. You do you. see there, it did not catch underneath, so I'm gonna just lift my foot, slide the feather underneath, and then settle it back down and pretend like we were sewing on it the whole time. And in this initial, like this first row, you can totally get away with doing stuff like that because I'll show you, we'll be going through and doing a whole nother 2 rows of stitching over this. This is basically behaving like a very secure basting stitch a little bit. Okay. Going a little bit further, picking up my foot. I'm gonna trim my threads. I'm gonna come in and actually trim my ribbon, giving myself about 2 inches of excess. Set that off to the side. Gonna go ahead and trim off these excess strings right here. And now you can see this is the start of our edging. And so what we need to do now, I'm going to zoom out a bit so that y'all can see. And I mean, it's just a mess over here. I've got feather ends and everything everywhere. So I'm just going to come through and giving myself about, 3/16 of an inch past where my seam is. I'm just trimming. You want to be careful to not pull in either direction. Boop, there we go. Okay, so now you can see that's how our trim is started. I'm going to zoom us back in. This is so exciting, you guys. This is my very first sewing video. Just to kind of, I don't know, there's a little bit of a milestone maybe. Like, this is pretty exciting for me. And so now I'm just going to fold this right over like that. And I'm going to sit this down like that. I'm going to do 2, 3. I'm using the hand crank on the side just to get it started. I don't know why I do that, I just do. Ever since home ec in high school, I've always done that just to kind of double check myself, I guess. Make sure the needle's going where I want it to. And now I line it up. I've got a little reverse lever right there. I'm going to press it and back stitch a few. And then go forward. I'm going to fold this over. It doesn't stay as tidy the whole time. That's okay. Faking it till we make it. Now I can fold it all the way to the end. Okay, now that I'm here at the end, with the needle going through the ribbon so it won't pull out, I'm actually going to lift the foot and I'm just going to turn it around. And I'm going to let the foot back down. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to come towards me a few stitches. Put the needle back into the project. That way, again, you can lift the foot and it's not going to shift around on you. I don't know if anything that I do is like good or bad practices, but it's what I do. So, it's again, with most things that I craft on, it's an art, not a science. It's about the end result. So if it looks good, then it works, I guess. And I'm just coming through on the other side now. Right off the end of our project, and with my needle up all the way and pull it off. So there we go. And we can do a final like little bit of positioning of the eyes. It didn't come out as dense as I would like. Some of them got a little twisted and turned around. But there we are, guys. Because you can take it and kind of do a little bit of overextending, and it'll get them to lay a little bit more like how you might want. Now this will never be a seriously durable project. Like, you're always going to have to be just a little delicate, it's just a little careful with anything that you make with feathers, but I think that's just the nature of the beast. So there, after some positioning, that's so pretty. I love peacocks. So guys, that's how I make my peacock feather fringe. You could take this and hem it, like just take this and sew on the ribbon on the inside of a hem to make it be like on a skirt or something. That'd be cool. You can take multiple layers like this and stitch them onto something staggered, which I'm sure would look way better if it's not just flopping around. What I'm going to be doing with these is I'm going to be coming through and hand stitching it onto a belly dance bra. And then I'll be hiding all of my seam work and everything under like layers of I just brain farted. What's it called? Lace. I was like, it's ruffly. It's like ribbon with holes in it. I'm going to be hiding this seam work under layers of lace, beadwork, and I think I'm going to have like scale mail coming down. I don't know. We'll see. But be sure to subscribe. That way you'll see whenever this video comes out of how I'm going to be making that belly dance outfit. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, I would love to hear from you guys. Like, I'm learning a lot of new things, trying out a lot of new projects. So some of these are not as like, I don't feel as confident in my skills for them as I do for like my wire wrapping or my chainmail. So it's like, y'all get to witness me faking it till I make it. So we can learn a lot from each other. I hope, like even that, oh my gosh. Just on my head, you guys. Randy, look at my hat. Do you see? Is it awesome? Well, I guess I could. It's beautiful. I love it. So I could totally do this on like the back side. Oh my god, I need this in my life. Of like a leather headdress. Stop judging me,
Guess
Randy.
what?
I see you judging me.
It's in your life.
It's in my life right now. You could have it as a grande moustache. Okay, now I'm just being silly, sorry. If you guys like my free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, guys, I could do little feathery shuffle or shoulder shuffles. Okay, infinite possibilities here, you guys. I'm so excited. If you enjoy our free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, please check us out on Patreon. There's a link down in the video description below. And yeah, you can pledge just $1 a month and get into all of our Fairy House giveaways. And if you pledge $5 a month, you get exclusive like behind the scene pictures, as well as your name in all the giveaways 5 times. And then if you pledge $10 or more, you're still in the giveaways, you're still getting the behind the scene pictures, but you also get kits and materials mailed to you every month, or a gift, your preference. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on over there, so please go check it out. Your support's tremendously appreciated. If you don't want to be a patron but you still want to support our work, please like what we do. If you like it, please subscribe so you can stay up to date on videos, and please share it with your friends. If you're like in cosplay groups or have other friends who like might like this stuff, let them know that we exist, so we can all learn and share together. So yeah. Happy crafting, you guys. I'm gonna get back to this project because I'm like so excited. So I love all of you. Give yourselves a big hug for me and have an excellent day. Bye.